What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another office video. Body gain contributes to sexual compatibility. And let me shout out one of my supporters, C. Avery. He inspired the video, he didn't request it. But one thing I will do, if somebody got a good comment and inspires a video, I'll do it and then shout them out. So if you really want something, you better make a great ass comment. And one of the reasons I do that is I really appreciate good comments, intelligent conversation. Indeed, a whole lot of my commenters really need to start their own channels. There's a whole crew of them who need to start their own channels. They are that good. I'd be watching. I'd be like, yeah. In fact, I've had quite a few people who watch me start their own channels. I appreciate it. But anyway, body game. See, here's something that's not talked about. And I already knew it, but you know what? Sometimes, you know how you know something, but sometimes you might not think about it. And then somebody else say it, and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. But here's the thing. If you're talking about sexual compatibility, the bodies need to fit together. No joke. Even the genitals. That's a deeper part of sexual chemistry. In fact, in the Kama Sutra, they actually talk about, when they talk about like different body sizes, the mare, the deer, the elephant, that's different body sizes because it can even come down to the genitals. See, every vagina isn't equal. Every penis size isn't equal. But sometimes if the right key goes in the lock, it's an explosion. You'll find that people who, if they together, they generate a lot of sexual chemistry. You notice their bodies like complement each other. See, that's how deep it has to be. Your bodies have to complement, If a man needs to be like physically compatible with that woman. A woman needs to be physically compatible. See, anybody who's really had sex with multiple women, they know that. Like some vaginas, I don't care what your joint is, you might have to move around a bit. It might not fit as well, regardless of your size. It might be a little bit higher up. It's something. It'll be something. The penis is going to be different lengths and everything, different girth. And see, one of the things with the compatibility, y'all just fit together. Like, I always talk about the butt dump. Yeah, I say breast assistance, but that's for the comedy part. I've noticed the women who I fit with the best got nice buttocks. So I love that. I love that. In fact, the women I've had the most sexual chemistry with, the size look right. So sometimes if you look at a couple, that's why it sounds cliche. It sounds shallow. But if their sizes are just right, or sometimes even if they look alike, because there's that saying, you see a good couple, it's like, okay, they're either brother and sister, or they're a couple. And, it just fits together right. That's a big part of it. Because, see, here's the thing with sex. People talk all that stuff, but it's a physical activity. Because you got some guys, like you got the guys saying, oh, it's just the face. But the bodies have to click. Because think about saying, because ideally, the man should be bigger and stronger than the woman. Or at least strong enough to pick her up. Now, I know we see some couples out there, the woman's bigger than the man. But we don't know what's going on in the bedroom. But you see those couples, they just match. Maybe they both fit. Or sometimes even if they both big, it's a physical match. That's why you'll see, like, I'll say some taller and shapelier women. That fact, taller and shapelier women. That's why they might mess with a bigger man. They might mess because he's physically bigger than them. And I've told, like, I joked around about how I've known a couple women that were 5'10". One was about 5'10", the other one was about 5'8", and they both had big men. One of the 5'10" one, and we used to call her Earth Angel. She had a totally flat stomach. She had a figure 8, but she said she needed a big man so he could flip her. Seriously, that's that big thing. The joint need to fit together. Seriously, no, let me just get raw with it. if you're joined, you get in there, it should ideally slip right in. Now, if you got to do all this movement and all of that, y'all might not really be compatible. Seriously, it comes down to it. Seriously, it ain't just like you just go in. Y'all need to be physically compatible. You know? Everything need to fit right. Everything need to fit right. And, you know, just even beyond that, of course, y'all need to turn each other on sexually. And see, sometimes when the body, one of the things, when you really focus on the body, focus on it, you'll find that you're compatible with that woman otherwise. See, and listen, let me go deep. The bodies speak to each other. Like for the fellas, you ever see that woman who had that body? It seemed like it called to you. It's like, come here. They might be walking down the street doing the clock, clock, clock. It's speaking to them. It's putting them into a trance. I've seen that with women. When they see certain bodies, especially some muscular bodies, and especially, hey, and let's just be real, even though I always say you got some short stature guys getting some play out here, let's just be real. If you tall, you get play. As long as you stand out. Shoot. And if you tall and muscular, shoot. And then even have a handsome face, shit. It turns them, it puts them into a trance. Now, let me hit y'all on some deep shit. Now, there's some shit I should have on the deep thought side. It speaks to whatever a person likes in the opposite sex, whatever body part, because everybody likes certain body parts. Women do too. Like women, they can be big on arms, they can be big on chest. All of that says something to them. Like I'm gonna give you something. If a woman say she like your arms, she like a man who's protective. She like your chest, that's the protection. If she does like your face, it ain't just the bone structure. Like she say she like your eyes. That's that like more spiritual side. If she like your mouth or something, or your shoulders, like she say you can shoulder responsibility. If she like your back, she likes a man with a strong backbone. And then if you got some powerful legs, that means you're rooted to the earth. And the same thing with women. When you like those, you really like a woman who can nurture. Or if you like a woman's eyes, you like that spiritual nature. You know, if you even like her shoulders, refinement. Usually men don't like a woman's arms. And I ain't sure what that one is exactly, because most men don't talk about it. But if you like her butt dunk, that means you like that creativity, because what does a woman create with her womb? She creates a life. Or nurtures a life, rather. You know? She nurtures it. Or those shapely legs. You see those women with those nice shapely legs or thighs or something? Shoot, you like that down-to-earth woman. See, it speaks to you. That's why I've always pushed body game. If you hadn't, look, let's just be real. The body is the key way to turn on the opposite sex. The body. Now, I know you always get some guys who say, no, they ain't it. Ask them, put those guys in a lie detector and ask them how many women that they had that they didn't have to pay for. They're not qualified to speak on it. They ain't qualified to speak on it. You know? They never got, you know, and even if the little bit of sex they got, they might think the woman wasn't paying attention. You talk to any woman, they always pay attention to a man's body. Even if they don't say anything. Because it is a test. Because if you get some women say, well, you know, I just care about the face. All right. So if a man got a hand, you got some big men, some men who might be technically obese or something with handsome faces. Ask that woman, would she get that man something? He said, his face handsome. Seriously. Seriously. He said, his face handsome. But if he ain't in shape, say, okay, you gonna get with him? Or he like super slim. I always talk about that guy I worked with. I better stop saying something. He is an attorney. But that guy I worked with who looked like Clint Eastwood with glasses. Thing was, he had a scrawny body. He had the face, but a scrawny body. Wait, hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, he had the face, but he had a scrawny body. The women weren't checking for him where we were working. And they actually said, oh yeah, well, if he put on some weight, it's always the body. And this thing about a lot of guys don't want to get there, but think about it. How many men just go for a woman just for a face? You got some overweight women who got pretty faces. Seriously, you got plenty of overweight women. If you just look at just their face, they're cute. They cute, but their bodies are, and especially a lot of very pretty women. If you look at a lot of pretty women, a lot of them will have a pretty face, but they built like a stick figure. They don't have any curves. Breastises are barely there. They built like a 12-year-old boy that hasn't reached puberty. See, it's about the body. It's about the body. That's why I push it so much. It's the primary way of turning on someone sexually. Anybody who doubt that, well, ask yourself, why is it they make it rain on strippers, male or female? If it wasn't about the body, then the guys could just walk around with a suit on or something, making sure their face is seen. Use some common sense. You wouldn't have a Magic Mike 3 coming out. You wouldn't have like Magic Mike shows or that Vivica Black Magic show. It's about the body. It's just that simple. And then even then, that body, the two bodies need to be compatible. They need to be physically compatible. Not only turn each other on, but just physically compatible to make it work. So always get that. Always understand that. Don't fight against it. Don't fight against nature. You know? Don't fight against nature. And let me say something about that for the people who fight against body game, who fight against it. They cannot explain in a concise manner. How is it some men who know they're getting the women because of their body are getting the play? They can't come up with anything. Hit the goddamn gym. Do something with your body. If you ain't, I'm gonna put it like this. I don't care what your body build is. If you ain't turning on women sexually, it's something with your body. I'm gonna just say that now. Because I'm the people scared where I'm kind of keep pushing. I'm like, hold up. You get a lot of men complaining about not getting sex, not getting attention, anything. Meanwhile, the guys who know about body game practice it themselves. Shoot, they were practicing. Hey, they were practicing independent of me. I'm just putting a name to it. They know why the women like coming up to them, feeling on their chest, feeling on their shoulders, and all of that. They know when a woman going crazy and a woman, just swallowed all their kids, and they know the woman saying, yeah, that chest on him. You say no. Shit, the women will tell you. And some of the guys going to detract against that. It's like, what if women told you anything? And if they haven't told you anything, you're not qualified to speak because then you don't know. Now, what you think or believe, you don't know. And I'm gonna jump on that because somebody say, well, you keep pushing, because you know what? It's kind of frustrating to hear some guys complaining, and you got guys who getting women telling you, ain't having any problems telling you what the deal is, and it's like, stop fighting against it. When you look at shows like Love Island, F-Boy Island, Too Hot to Handle, all those motherfuckers are fit. Even if they bigger, they all fit. They got the same general form. And you got like thicker to slim. And even if every well muscled or even the slimmer ones are cut. Think. So anyway, that's all I got. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.